Warning, the following podcast is intended for mature audiences only. Listener discretion is advised. If you are sensitive to any particular content, I recommend looking this film up on doesthedogdie.com. It contains content warnings submitted by users for pretty much every movie you can think of. Check it out and take care of yourself. Welcome back to We Creeps, a podcast for the easily spooked and for those who just love horror. I am your host, Evan Exhumed, and I will be taking you on this journey through a summary of a film, a review of a film, and some trivia related to that film. Today's film is going to be the classic horror film inspired by the Stephen King novel, Carrie. And we're going to be doing the original one, the 1976 Carrie. The film stars Sissy Spacek, Piper Laurie, Amy Irving, William Catt, John Travolta, and Nancy Allen. I was going to do a newer film, but I've just been really busy lately with other projects, and so I thought, why not just do a classic that I enjoyed? So without further ado, we'll go ahead and get started on the summary portion of the episode.
I am the devil, and I am here to do the devil's work.
So the movie starts off fucking awful. Carrie's just playing volleyball, being a normal high school young lady, and just every girl playing with her is just like hugely mean to her. I mean, the thing that's the most unrealistic about this movie is that the actress who plays Carrie is like ridiculously attractive. And like, I don't know about you, but like being attractive goes a long way in high school and middle school, like at least in my day. I'm 31. So it's, I don't know, maybe the 70s were different. Everybody was just hot and just so, there were more stipulations on what made you popular. But just, yeah, right off the bat, everyone's super shitty to her immediately. So they all go to get changed and shower in the locker room. We then have like 2 minutes of just like teenage girls just like completely naked, like, changing and showering and stuff, which is kind of insane because like, like times have changed quite a bit to nowadays that would be the fucking good Lord, the press on that. But just, back then, 1976, they're like 15, 16-year-old girls just, going around naked in the showers. Yeah, let's just show everybody. I mean, Jesus Christ, it's like literally 3 full minutes of just underage girls just bathing, and like Carrie is like washing herself, and it's very sensual, and it's just wow, like 1976, you were on something. So unfortunately, Carrie starts her period while she is in the shower. And as a result, all of her peers just start like laughing at her and mocking her. And then they just all start throwing tampons and pads at her. And it's just like comically mean. Like I truly have never had a high school experience or like known anyone in a high, feel free to like let me know in DMs or like Instagram or something. Like if you were pelted with period pads and tampons, in high school, just tell me, like, let me know, because I want to know where this comes from. Maybe if you're a guy, maybe you were pelted with condoms or jock straps, but it just seems just so comically mean. Like it feels like a nightmare. I mean, maybe that's what it's supposed to be, but it's just very comically mean. So the women's coach or gym teacher like scolds the other girls and then goes up to Carrie, who is just having like a panic attack, and just slaps her in the fucking face. 1976, here we are again. And I guess that calms Carrie down. Only for a second, though, because a light bulb suddenly shatters. And if you're not familiar, Carrie is supposed to be implied or is psychic. So the gym teacher goes to the principal, and Carrie is like sitting outside the office, and she's just like, yeah, those girls were really awful to her, but like, I kind of get it because she was annoying as shit. Like, it's just a period. And I'm like, I think it was more than just a period for her, gym coach. She had her first period ever and then was pelted and ridiculed by like literally all of her friends, or not her friends, rather her peers. So I think it's just a little bit more than that. And the fucking principal's just like, yeah, I don't know. I guess that sucks. I don't know. Her mom sounds crazy for not telling her about this, but this is just kind of woman stuff. And when he talks to Carrie, like he can't even remember her fucking name. And so Carrie is just getting like more and more pissed about this. And, you can see like the little ashtray. Yes, he's smoking in the office at a school, 1976. And yeah, the ashtray is just like shaking because she's just so fucking pissed. And I'm just gonna, I'm gonna establish my side of the side of the Carrie discourse here. Carrie did nothing wrong. I'm going to say that right now. I've seen this movie. You've probably seen this movie. You know what happens at the end. And I'm saying right now, I want to get it very clear and I want everyone to know. Put me on blast. I don't care. Carrie did nothing wrong. Everything she did, 100% fine. Normal. Like, why can't women have fun? Anyway, let's continue. And so they like try to comfort her, and the principal actually offers like her a cab home, and the gym teacher just interrupts and goes, she can walk. And I'm just like, Jesus Christ, lady, just like, let the principal already offered, just calm the fuck down. So Carrie ends up walking home very sad and melancholy because she had the worst fucking day of her life. However, there is a little child who like rides by her with her bike, or his bike. I couldn't tell the gender, and makes fun of her. And she just uses her psychic powers to just knock his ass over. And I was just like, again, Carrie did nothing wrong here. She's a fucking champion. So we then meet Carrie's mom, Margaret. I'm just going to call her mom because who fucking cares? And she's like selling Bibles door to door and just very overtly Christian, very judgmental, cast out the sinner type person. And then she comes home, and Carrie seems kind of panicked that her mother is home because she doesn't want to have to deal with this. And her mother is very clearly like insane. So her mom gets a call from the school and talks to Carrie, and she's like, hey, you're a woman now. And Carrie's like, why didn't you tell me? And then her mom just hits her because she's a piece of shit, crazy lady. And then she just starts like rapping Bible verses at her. And it's just like, Eve is a bad person because she ate the apple of the snake or whatever. And it's just super cringe. I want to beat the shit out of this mom. And then her mom like accuses her of being a slut because she got her first period. Like, I don't like, I want her address. I just God. And then her mom, as a result, just like throws her in the closet to, I guess, punish her for becoming a woman. And I'm so angry reading this or talking about this. And after all of that, you see like kind of a few hours later, and you see Carrie right before she's about to go to bed, and she thanks her mother for this. So Carrie is just so fucking deeply traumatized. Like, and I just feel so bad for this character. And that's, again, why I'm going to remind you that Carrie did nothing fucking wrong in this movie. Like, I've seen a lot of people debate about like Midsummer and like, other women's wrongs movies, but there is no denying that Carrie did absolutely nothing wrong in this. We then get a scene of the gym teacher bringing all the girls who threw tampons at Carrie into the gym and basically giving them the option of having detention with her for 50 minutes a day or losing prom access to tickets. This is also where a lot of the like mean girls are kind of introduced by name, but there's just so many of them and they're just so fucking unimportant and stupid that I don't even really want to name them. I'm just going to refer to them as like brunette popular girl or blonde popular girl because they're just such assholes. Like, they don't even deserve to be like credited or named in this. I mean, the actresses are great, don't get me wrong, but I just fucking hate these characters so much. They're just so fucking evil. And then we get like a 1.5 minute montage of these like young girls in short shorts, like doing various like strenuous exercises. And then there's like the camera just like is set on the gym teacher's like ass as she's like walking across them doing like jumping jacks and like squats and like just fucking 1976. Jesus Christ, dude. So one of the girls like gets really mad about having to do like extra PE for 50 minutes a day and confronts the gym teacher, and then the gym teacher just slaps her again. I mean, this gym teacher is just not fucking holding back with these girls, and it's hilarious and also just like, Jesus Christ, 1976. All right, I guess I should name these characters because it actually is kind of relevant. So the one who got really mad and then slapped by the gym teacher, her name is Chris, and she's dating John Travolta's character, Billy. So in this scene, we see them kind of like driving around, drinking and driving. And shortly after this, we see a scene previously that one of the mean girls named Sue asks this like popular boy or something, I'm not sure if they're dating, Tommy, to take Carrie White to the prom. So the whole thing that's being set up here by these two girls, it seems, is that they're just going to fuck with her for having them get put into a very, I would say, pretty chill punishment, aside from getting fucking decked by the gym teacher, just having to do an extra hour of exercise every day for like 10 days or 5 days or something is not too bad considering you like deeply traumatize this woman for life, but whatever. So So then we get a scene of Chris trying to convince her boyfriend Billy, played by John Travolta, to do something terrible to Carrie White. So she just starts fucking slopping on his dick, and like mid blowjob goes, "I hate Carrie White," which is like insane levels of hate. Like, you have a dude's whole dick in your mouth and you're still thinking about this woman. Like, I'm more of a peace and love kind of person, but like, I hope someday that I have a hater so fucking significant that when they're just like mid fucking glizzy goblin, like they're just thinking about me and saying my name, just like, I hate Evan Exum, just like while they're just taking dick in the throat. Like, that's insane levels of hatred. This movie, fucking 1976. Meanwhile, while teens are sucking dick, Carrie is just looking up like telekinesis and psychic stuff, which her school library seems to have quite a bit of. And she's just kind of trying to learn a little bit more about herself. It's not super important, but it is showing that she is taking a significant effort to try to understand what's going on with her. So while she's doing that, we see that Tommy, Sue's boyfriend, the blonde guy, is asking her out to the prom, and he's like, "Yeah, baby, I know we've never spoken before. I know that my girlfriend or friend or whatever has, subjected you to extensive ridicule, but like, we should totally go to the prom." But Carrie just ends up running away. So Carrie is now just like sulking by herself, trying to figure out if she's being, played a trick on, which her first instinct was correct. And then the gym teacher approaches her and it's like, "What's going on, girl? Oh, of course, Tommy, he probably really loves you. Like, oh my God, he's like, you should totally like stop being such a little depressy Wessy. Like, have you ever just like tried going like on a walk? Like, it really helps me with my depression." And just totally dismissing the very obvious trick that this guy is playing. I mean, he's just totally not in the same league as her. Like, he is. I mean, she's extremely attractive. Like, she's a good looking woman. Like, she's very pretty. But like, in terms of high school popularity, they're just not in the same league. So it is just totally fucking random that he would ask her out. And as a fucking gym coach, like, she's been around the block. She should know this shit. But whatever. Okay, everyone sucks. However, the gym coach does grab Sue and Tommy and is just like, "Look, cut the bullshit. I know you're trying to fuck with her." And they're like, "No, we're just trying to help her have a good time." And I guess the gym teacher just like kind of is like, "Okay, give me a chance." But it's just like, well, so then Tommy ends up going to Carrie's house and basically forces her to go to the prom with him because he just says he won't leave. And she's freaking out because her mom is trying to sleep. And if her mom sees that a boy is there, she's probably going to beat the shit out of her. So it's just, not a good situation. Just not a really good situation here. We then get a scene of the two boys and the two girls, Sue, Tommy, Christine, and Billy. They go to a pig farm. They get a fuck ton of pig's blood by killing a pig. And we know where this is going. It's implied that they're going to dump this pig's blood on her during the prom. We then see a scene with lots of lightning and rain. Carrie is trying to talk to her mother indoors about going to the prom, and her mom just gets mad and just throws hot tea on her face. Again, I just want this woman's address, possibly her social security number, and a few other documents that could be used in creative ways. So then Carrie starts using her psychic shit, telekinesis shit or whatever, starts closing doors and windows, and her mom's like, "You're a witch." And she's like, "Nah, I can just move shit with my mind, and stuff's gonna change around here, you fucking evil bitch." And she's like, "You can suck my psychic dick because I'm going to that fucking prom." And again, Carrie did nothing wrong. So we get some like montage scenes of Carrie like prepping for the prom in the next few days. She's making her own fucking dress. Good for her. We see Tommy and the other people getting their tuxedos and stuff. And it's just some like teenage shit that's just not really relevant to the plot. So now we see Carrie's ready for the prom. She's looking fantastic. If I was her father, truly her father, and I saw my daughter come out looking like this, I would cry. I would cry tears of happiness because my beautiful little girl has become a beautiful woman and is ready to go out and live her life. And she's just so great. But her mother, of course, is a fucking bitch and just like tries to stop her and just says all this prayer shit. And then Carrie just uses psychic powers to just like pin her to the bed and is just like, "Look, you need to stay there. I'm gonna go fucking have this. I'm gonna have this prom. So for a bit, we get some more prom stuff. People dancing. Tommy kind of putting the moves on Carrie. The gym teacher comes down and sits and tells an anecdotal story about her prom date, and Carrie seems to be having a good time. And yeah, there's like a dancing scene with Tommy, and they kiss, and so again, I don't know, man. I mean, I just feel so bad for this girl. Like, it's so obvious that these people have ulterior motives, but she just wants to be like loved and accepted so badly, and I think that's just what makes this movie so fucking tragic. During all of this, we've also seen that the ballots for the prom king and queen have been rigged, essentially, for Carrie to win, and we can kind of see where this is going with the whole pig's blood and stuff. And so, yeah, Carrie wins the prom queen role with her boy Tommy here. And her life is perfect. She goes up there, she's so happy, everything's amazing, and all of that is going to come crashing very soon. So, yeah, then the blood gets dropped on her, and she's very upset. And I'm, again, like, I take I take the show really seriously, and I just want to say that all of the lives that are about to be taken in this film for what Carrie's about to do with her powers and stuff are absolutely deserved. Carrie, again, has done nothing wrong. So yeah, she ends up using her telekinetic powers to lock all of the doors and trap everyone inside. Still has done nothing wrong yet. She then starts blasting everyone with a fire hose. Let me check something. Nope, still hasn't done anything wrong yet. She then puts the fire hose on some electronics that someone's touching, and then it shocks them to death. I think it was the principal. Based on my knowledge of just general understanding of things, she still has not done anything wrong. The sparks eventually catch the entire gymnasium on fire, which, I think that perhaps the thing I would criticize her for is maybe wearing a different type of dress, because it will be very difficult to dry clean that later with all the blood and, ash and stuff from her victims. But other than that, I would say that nothing has been done wrong. So from there, Carrie leaves, locking everybody inside, and heads home. We then see Chris and her boyfriend, John Travolta character, driving at Carrie to run her over, I guess, for revenge. And so Carrie turns and sees them and causes the car to explode, do a bunch of flips and stuff, and just basically kills them, which I think is still has not done anything wrong. Carrie eventually makes her way home, and then we see her mother has lit like 1,000 candles, and so she's just like, that's weird. And so she goes upstairs, takes a nice little bath, and looks for her mom. She looks for comfort from her mother, who randomly pops up behind a door, and then her mom's like, damn, I really should have killed you when you were born. So Carrie, still going through it. Her mother then explains to her that her father was just like some random dude at like, I don't know, a TGI Fridays, basically, who just like, gave her some whiskey dick. And so as a result, she was, conceived under sinful reasonings or whatever. And so that's, her understanding of why she's like telekinetic or something, which, of course makes no sense to the audience, but, she's crazy. So she ends up giving Carrie a little bit of a hug. And then while that is happening, she pulls out a chef's knife and fucking stabs her in the back. Carrie then falls down the stairs and is quite dazed. Carrie then proceeds to defend herself, thus confirming that she did nothing wrong, and uses pretty much every sharp object in the house to kill her mother, just stabbing her with just every single implement that you could think of. Her mother laughs quite twistedly and then shortly succumbs to blood loss. And Carrie being a traumatized victim and her mother being the only person in her life who's shown her at least a little bit of kindness, maybe once or twice, it gets very upset. And so she takes her mom, the knife set of her mom, and hugs her, and then just goes like full telekinesis explosion mode, and all the like candles and stuff just go everywhere and light the entire house on fire, and she just dies in the house. And that's basically the end of the movie. I guess I will admit that was probably something that she shouldn't have done. She should have just killed her mom and then left, and then she would have been like 100% scot-free, did nothing wrong. But I know I've said a lot that she hasn't done anything wrong, and I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and say that I'm not wrong, but I was wrong. And so her not just leaving after killing her mother, I think was her greatest mistake in this. Not the killing of the teenagers, not, any of that other stuff. I think this specifically is the one thing that she does wrong in the film. We then get one last look at one of the girls, Sue, who is still alive. She is having nightmares about Carrie and dreaming of like leaving flowers at her grave, and Carrie comes out of the ground and attacks her. And so, yeah, it's just, fuck everyone except Carrie. I fucking hate all these people in this movie. I'm so glad everyone died except Carrie. Carrie should have lived. 0 out of 5. I'm just kidding. This is a good movie, but still, that was bullshit. Anyway, with the summary portion out of the way, let's move on to the review portion.
Did you know I'm utterly insane?
I haven't seen any of the other remakes or anything, but I really like this movie. I think that it's definitely a product of its time, and you have to really look through it from a historical perspective. Like, imagine yourself being like a teenager or in your early 20s in 1976 and watching this film. And I think it just hits a lot of really interesting themes, such as, isolation, public ridicule, peer pressure, things like that. And so I think I understand, having watched this a few times now, just why it sits sort of in the Horror Hall of Fame. And, I'm a big sucker for Stephen King, and this is his first book. It was actually, fun fact, that's unrelated to the facts later, but his wife actually is the reason that this book even got produced and that Stephen King became a writer, because he wrote this book and just was like, this is shit. I'm not a good writer. And he threw it away. And his wife read it and was like, you can't give up. This is a good book. So she dug it out of the trash and helped him get it published. So yeah, I liked this. I would say I give it a 4 out of 5. It's not a perfect film. There's some parts that are a little slow. I really don't give a shit about any of the teenager stuff that was in the film. That was just like, it felt kind of like filler, maybe to just be more atmospheric. But yeah, overall, I think this is a good movie, and definitely one to watch if you're a fan of horror, or if you're just interested in the classics. I think that you don't necessarily need to see the classics, but I think that they are good for historical perspective. But, as long as you go into them expecting them to just be products of their time, I think you can appreciate them, even if you don't enjoy them as much as like more contemporary stuff. With that said, let's go ahead and move on to the trick or trivia portion of our podcast.
Do you know what the most frightening thing in the world is? It's fear.
Trivia number 1, when Sissy Spacek was preparing for her character, she actually isolated herself from the rest of the cast, everyone in the crew as well, and like surrounded herself with like heavy religious shit and just like studied just creepy ass Bible art and stuff. And she wanted to see the body language of people being stoned for their sins so she could like really get into character, which seems like a lot, but it was 1976. Trivia number 2, Stephen King was actually only paid $2,500 for the rights to this movie, which is pretty low. Trivia number 3, the name of the high school was actually Bates High, which is a reference to Norman Bates from the movie Psycho that came out in 1960. That's all the trivia that I have for you. Join us again next time for more trick or trivia. 7 days. Thank you so much for joining us again on We Creeps. It was nice to have like a month and a half off. I hope you didn't miss me too much, but hope it gave you plenty of time to catch up on old episodes. If you want to support the show or follow me on any of my social media, just go to wecreeps.com. That will link you to my Linktree, which will have the links to everything that you can think of. Instagram, merch, Patreon, whatever you need, it's going to be there. With that said, thank you so much again for listening. I'm happy to be back. Season 4, baby. What am I forgetting? Fuck. You know what? I think I forgot to stay spooky out there. So now that I've remembered, I'm going to go ahead and just remind you to stay spooky out there.